Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling, presented by the Idiot Radio Network, offering a weekly look into the world of professional wrestling with guest interviews, news, results, and much more. Now here's your host, Stephon Devereux. Stephon Devereux. Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling. Here on Angry Kids 24/7 Radio. Want to thank you for joining me today. Woo! Man, we got some news. I say that every week, though, don't I? Well, if we didn't have news, I wouldn't have a reason to do the show unless you just want to listen to me speak. I'm hoping some of you do. Anyway. But, pro wrestling fans, sports entertainment fanatics, welcome to the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling. I'm your host, Stephon Devereux, as I mentioned before. And today's episode of the Devereux Committee, man, we got some huge news coming out of the world of the WWE, the universe, as they like to call it. Man, you know, guys are getting released left and right. So that's nothing. That's not news. You know, Ty Dillinger, he was released. Okay, yeah, who cares? Okay. I mean, to average wrestling fans, yeah, they're not really worried. They're not looking up where he's going. Hideo Itami released. These guys are asking for their release, as people are saying, you know, the reports are. But let me tell you this. The WWE is going to release them anyway. You know, they really didn't want them. They come on, guys. If they wanted you, you guys would have been featured in some nice premiere spots, but you haven't been. So, with those releases, you know, the WWE, that was on camera, of course. Now, behind the scenes, there have been some additions. And those additions have made a lot of news because of who they are. You know, we talked about Abyss, you know, Sanjay Dutt, Jeff Jarrett. You know, we talked about these recent additions to the backstage staff of the WWE. We talked about these things, okay? But there was also, you know, with these additions, there's going to come departures backstage, and one of those key departures is Arn Anderson. Full double A, Mr. Four Horseman himself. Yeah, Ric Flair, you can call him that, but I'm going to tell you Arn Anderson was the backbone of the Four Horsemen. So Arn Anderson is no longer employed by the WWE. Is that really huge news? Well, actually it is. People can say no, but it actually is huge news. Why? Because Arn Anderson is very important behind the scenes. Arn Anderson is one of the top producers, one of the top agents behind the scenes. You know, these guys come to Arn Anderson to help put their matches together, namely John Cena. John Cena. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say John Cena is, you know, Lou Thesz. I'm not going to say he's even Arn Anderson. But John Cena does put together some really good matches. He does. And that's helped out Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson is no longer there. John Cena's gone. Well, he's doing his Hollywood thing right now. You know, maybe people feel that he's really not needed as much, Arn Anderson. But there is also rumors going around that this had to do with an incident with Vince McMahon, and he and Vince McMahon not seeing eye to eye. Now, this is according to Dave Meltzer. Oh, goodness. Yes, I'm not throwing shade at Dave. I swear I'm not. But according to Dave Meltzer, these guys had some issues. Vince McMahon has issues with everybody. We know this. This is just who Vince McMahon is. It's either his way or the highway. It's understandable. It's his company. He wants to run it the way he wants to run it. It's his money. And you got some, you know, shareholders and so forth. You got to make sure that they're taken care of. The WWE is experiencing its most profitable time ever. The ratings are declining, though. Attendance is in the toilet, but he's making so much money off this product. Changes were made. Changes were needed to be made because he felt like the attendance and so forth. And that's going to lead me to my addition. Talked about the departures of the wrestlers and backstage people, Arn Anderson. But these attendance numbers, these ratings, they're not looking good. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later because I have a feeling why they're not, especially on Raw, why the ratings are tanking the way they are. But the attendance, and this could, go and put those two together, the attendance and the ratings, and my reason why, and I'm going to talk about that later. But a key addition, Vince McMahon has brought back a good friend of his. Now, hard worker, yes. But see, I'm going to tell you why I don't like this addition, because I'm going to bring up a name that he should have brought back instead of the guy he did. And I'm going to talk about the guy he brought back in the next segment. But the guy he should have brought back was Vince Russo. I'm sorry. I'm going to fight tooth and nail. And people can disagree with me all you want. I don't mind the disagreement. I don't mind the argument of why he shouldn't be there. But I'm going to come back with 1,000 reasons why he should be there. You want this product turned around, you need something. If you're going to go into the past to bring back, a guy who was there right before Vince Russo took over, by the way, and the attendance and the ratings were in the toilet then, if you're going to go back in the past to bring that guy back, then why not just go back and bring someone who was very successful? Vince Russo was very successful. Russo was very successful. You can't deny it. Numbers are in his favor, up and down the daggone board in the WWE. Vince Russo's product helped the WWE get to a plateau that it will never see again, ratings-wise. Attendance, they'll probably never see it again. Merchandise, yeah, they sell merchandise still, but they'll never sell the merchandise they were selling during the Attitude Era. I don't care what people say. Now, people can say they're very successful still. They're making a lot of money, yes, but those are other factors to why they're making this money. We can get into that another day. But as far as your bread and butter, ratings and attendance. Ratings, you sell your advertising. Attendance, you sell those tickets, and you're making money hand over fist. But those things are down right now. Vince Russo could turn that around, because where does it start? It starts in the ring. The product on television. If the product is good on TV, the fans are going to buy tickets to the live events because they want to see certain wrestlers. If the product is good on TV, people will watch the pay-per-views on the WWE network every month, sometimes twice a month. The fans will watch. If there's a star that they're really hooked on, they're going to watch every show, and they're going to watch every hour. The ratings wouldn't decline as the show progresses. They would either stay flat or they should improve. Because if something's good, like let's bring Steve Austin or DX, you watch something, you call it a friend, you say, guess what? They're going to be blah, blah, blah. It's going to be wrestling, blah, 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 in the main event. That friend calls another friend. That friend calls, it's word of mouth. Social media, actually, they don't call anybody anymore. You just go on Twitter, go on Facebook. Vince Russo could bring that back. Why? Because the man has not lost it. I'm sorry, the man hasn't lost it. He hasn't lost it. He's still creative. He hasn't lost it. But we're going to talk about who the WWE brought back instead and why I think it's a mistake. You're listening to the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling here on Angry Kids 24/7 Radio. We'll be right back after this break.
You're listening to Angry Kids
24/7 Radio. Angry Kids 24/7 Radio. How to text a guy to keep him interested. It's a question many women ask daily. Well, Amy North believes she has found the answer with How to Text a Guy to Keep Him Interested. It's a new course that she has put together, and it's helping ladies all across the world. You can go to howtotextaguytokeephiminterested.weebly.com for more information. Amy says she has the answer, so find out there at howtotextaguytokeephiminterested.weebly.com.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
I thought I was too far gone. I wasn't.
Join the Voices for Recovery.
The world is a beautiful place again.
For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral for mental and substance use disorders for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I'm getting older. Do I need to worry about falling?
Yes, you do. Each year, 1 in 4 people 65 and older will experience a fall, and many will be serious. The majority of falls happen at home, so remove things that could make you trip and install handrails to keep you steady. To learn more about the steps you can take to help prevent a fall, please talk to your doctor. You can also visit aarpfoundation.org or medicaremadeclear.com/falls. This message was brought to you by United Healthcare and AARP Foundation.
You're listening to Angry Kids 24/7 Radio. Stephon Devereux, the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling, here on Angry Kids 24/7 Radio. Okay, so we're talking about the departures and additions in the WWE. So let's talk about the addition that I'm not too happy about. I'm really not, because for the past couple of years, I've really enjoyed his show. He's done a podcast called Something to Wrestle With. And I really enjoyed the show, really enjoyed the podcast. But then when Conrad, his co-host, would ask certain questions and would expect him to give certain answers, like truthful answers, truthful responses, the guy, he just seemed like he was really just, like he didn't want to give an answer, but he gave an answer anyway, but it wasn't the right answer. It was a BS answer sometimes. And Conrad would call him out. Conrad would call him out every single time. And I give him so much credit, because I know it was hard to do, if you're friends with the guy. But, you have a following that, loyal following, by the way. Something to Wrestle, that this podcast has a very loyal following. And you got to make sure that you're taking care of your followers. They ask questions and they want answers. And the guy sometimes didn't give answers that the Conrad felt was truthful. Now we see why. Reports are that Bruce Pritchard, one of the longtime former, I want to say one of Vince McMahon's main guys for years in the WWE, he is now being brought back on to the creative staff to help get them out of this little funk that they're in. Now, we don't know exactly what his job will be. We know it's something in creative. I don't think it's going to be head of creative. I don't think they're going to take that away from Stephanie. But Bruce Pritchard is back in the WWE. Bruce, look, I love you to death, dude. I think you're a very creative guy. But come on, man. Conrad got you here now, bro. Conrad got you. And this is why I don't like the idea. Because first and foremost, besides him doing the podcast and him shilling for the WWE on the podcast, I just don't like the idea of Vince McMahon. If you're going to go back in the past, then why are you going to bring back somebody who he was creative, but he was creative 20-something years ago, 30-something years ago. Matter of fact, he was on a creative staff when Vince McMahon had to replace film guys and bring in Vince Russo. So Bruce Pritchard is kind of the reason why Vince Russo was brought into the WWE's creative staff in the first place. Why is Vince McMahon going back there? Why? I love Bruce Pritchard. I think Bruce is a very smart guy, but just bring Dr. Tom back up. Have him be on the creative staff. Just goes to show that Vince McMahon, he is the type of guy who he likes to feel comfortable, obviously. We all like to feel comfortable. But Vince, he feels more comfortable with people that he knows, obviously, but someone that he can control as well. Because he can control Bruce. This is easy. I wonder how Stephanie is feeling, because you heard of the stories of how Bruce got fired from the WWE. Stephanie had a hand in that. I wonder how she's feeling about this. It's just going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. Bruce, very smart guy. But now, this looks bad. This looks bad for him and his followers of the podcast. People go, well, it's just a podcast. Do you not realize podcasts are destroying terrestrial radio shows as we speak? Yes. His podcast was popping. But it's weird. Because all it does is just show us the mentality of Vince McMahon. And, I love Vince McMahon. I love Vince. But this shows the mentality of Vince McMahon. Now, they're going to find a way to keep Brock Lesnar now, because Bruce Pritchard has been on the record and said Brock Lesnar is the best wrestler in the business today. So they're going to find a way to keep Brock Lesnar for damn sure. Brock says, why should I stay? If you want to take the title off of me. And he has a point. Brock chasing the belt, it's fun. I like when guys chase Brock, because then the fans get mad when Brock wins. It's beautiful. They get the nice reaction. WWE gets the nice reaction that they want. Fans are upset. The crowd like a little hook. Anyway. So this whole Bruce Pritchard thing, it is what it is. Will this help the WWE get out of their funk? Because, like I said, I'll tell you the biggest issue that they have. We're going to talk about that in the next segment. Oh, yeah, we are. See, people can say they're not pushing the right people, the right wrestlers, the right talent. The WWE is doing everything in their power. I also think this NXT thing is come on, man. It's time to let it go. Stop mixing the NXT guys with the WWE guys. You have NXT guys beating the WWE guys 2 nights in a row. Come on, man. That's just insane. The NXT should be treated as exactly what it is. The third brand. Could you imagine if they let ECW guys go? Well, never mind. Because most of the WCW guys, or WWE guys were on ECW. The guys at the cast-offs that they didn't want. That's one of the problems. But I'm going to tell you the main problem right after this break. You're listening to the Devereux Committee here on Angry Kids 24/7 Radio. We'll be right back after this break.
You're listening to Angry Kids 24/7 Radio. Angry Kids 24/7 Radio.
How to text a guy to keep him interested? It's a question many women ask daily. Well, Amy North believes she has found the answer with How to Text a Guy to Keep Him Interested. It's a new course that she has put together, and it's helping ladies all across the world. You can go to howtotextaguy-to-keep-him-interested.weebly.com for more information. Amy says she has the answer, so find out there at howtotextaguy-to-keep-him-interested.weebly.com.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
I thought I was too far gone. I wasn't.
Join the Voices for Recovery.
The world is a beautiful place again.
For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral for mental and substance use disorders for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I'm getting older. Do I need to worry about falling?
Yes, you do. Each year, 1 in 4 people 65 and older will experience a fall, and many will be serious. The majority of falls happen at home, so remove things that could make you trip and install handrails to keep you steady. To learn more about the steps you can take to help prevent a fall, please talk to your doctor. You can also visit aarpfoundation.org or medicaremadeclear.com/falls. This message was brought to you by United Healthcare and AARP Foundation.
You're listening to Angry Kids 24/7 Radio.
Stephon Devereux, the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling. Angry Kids 24/7 Radio. We are back. All right, so we talked about the addition, with the departures of Arn Anderson and certain WWE talent. We talked about the additions of Bruce Pritchard and a few other producers. Now let's talk about the reason why the WWE is going through this funk that they're going through. Now look, here's the deal. If I come off as sounding sexist, I'm sorry. That's just too bad. Slow your roll, let it go. Because I'm not a sexist person. No. Now look, the reason why the WWE is going through what they're going through is because of them over pushing this women's division, this women's revolution, over pushing it. Now look, people can say the hottest wrestler in the business right now is a female named Becky Lynch. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, she's a hot wrestler as far as who gets a nice crowd reaction, but she's not drawing fans. She's not. They call her the Steve Austin of females. No, she's not. The difference between this lady and Steve Austin is Steve Austin kept his audience. He kept his audience. She's not keeping her audience. If I give you a storyline that's supposed to go throughout the full show, and you're going to get the payoff at the end in the main event, at least close to the main event or whatever, you should, if it's good enough, you should be watching throughout the show to see what they're going to do next. But no, Becky Lynch does not do this. Steve Austin did. Oh, yeah, Steve Austin did. The Rock did. These guys were superstars. Becky Lynch is not a superstar yet. Becky Lynch is a star, but she's not a superstar. She's not moving that casual needle. That's something that The Rock, he did. That's something that Austin did. That's something the NWO did. When people say, oh, she's as hot as Austin was, you're lying. Stop. That's so disrespectful to Steve Austin. And Steve Austin, I understand you're out here showing her love too. I get it. I have no beef with that. But she was not as hot as you were. Okay? It's number one. They're over pushing Becky Lynch. And they're pushing her in that main event. And look, Bubba Ray Dudley was right. A couple weeks ago when he said that the men has a lot of, they got some work to do if they plan on having that main event spot at WrestleMania. But I'm going to tell you this. If the females, if they're in a main event spot at WrestleMania, if they're in that last match spot at WrestleMania, it's not going to work. It's not. Which is why I don't believe that it will be in the main event spot. They'll find a way to get Brock in there. They'll find a way to get Daniel in there if need be. But it's not going to be the females. Now, people are already complaining about Charlotte Flair. This is one of the reasons why I have an issue with some of the wrestling fans. They're complaining about Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair has done everything in her power to become the top woman wrestler in the world. She's worked very hard to get that spot. Yes, she might have had a little bit of a push through the name Flair, but guess what? Everything she's getting, the girl deserves it. And fans are complaining about Charlotte Flair. Not complaining about the way she looks sometimes, because I don't think she's all right. But they were complaining about Charlotte Flair. Now she's in this match. People got heat with her. Even though you forget it's probably going to end up as a three-way dance anyway. They have heat with Charlotte Flair because she's now in this match. You know what? This is the best thing that could have happened to this match, was them adding Charlotte Flair to this match. Why? Because now it's actually going to be a good match. Which leads me to the third lady, Ronda Rousey. Now look, I get it. Ronda Rousey she's a superstar. We know that. She's a superstar, household name around the world. We get that. But as far as in professional wrestling right now, she's not. She has some name value, that's cool. But here's the problem with the WWE. They're overusing her. Now you can say, well, every show. No. This is what makes Brock Lesnar special. Brock Lesnar's not on every Raw. Brock Lesnar, you may see him once or twice every 2 months on a Monday Night Raw. Fans hate it, but guess what? He's not being overexposed. And that's what's happening to Ronda Rousey right now. This is why she's getting the backlash she's getting. Not from all the wrestling fans, but there's a certain number of them who are giving her so much heat. Now, and that's because she's being overused. That's it. They gave her the title. She's being overused. If they would have booked her like they booked Brock Lesnar, beautiful. But no, they don't. So this leads to my next beef with Ronda Rousey. And I have nothing but respect for Ronda because she's caught it. That bug is in. She got that bug. It's not going anywhere. The daggone tosses. Every time she tosses one of these wrestlers, these ladies, I'm getting, I cringe. They need to get her in the ring and have her work out these kinks. And I'm not talking about on a Monday night. I'm talking about Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, then get her in the ring on a Monday night to see if she's improved. And you go back to work again because it's just not looking too good. I'm afraid someone's going to get hurt. Now, I could be wrong. And I think, like I said, she's a superstar. But she's not a superstar within professional wrestling, which is kind of weird. But she will be. She sticks to this. She will be. So you got fans complaining about the top female wrestlers in the business. And these three top female wrestlers are being put in a position to where they're supposed to sell a pay-per-view. They're supposed to bring in a card, bring in crowds. We have issues. There's issues. They're not doing it. Can Bruce Pritchard help? I don't think so. But Vince Russo could. Of course, I close with that. So I want to thank you guys for joining me this afternoon here on the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling. Don't forget, look me up. Stephon Devereux, Google us. Google Angry Kids 24-7 Radio. Get all the information on what we're doing with the station. And listen to the station. Monday through Friday, you can hear the Stephon Devereux Show, Angry Kids 24-7 Radio. It's Monday through Friday night, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I guess I'll check you out then. Thank you for joining us, Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling.
You're listening to Angry Kids 24-7 Radio. Angry Kids 24-7 Radio.
How to text a guy to keep him interested? It's a question many women ask daily. Well, Amy North believes she has found the answer with How to Text a Guy to Keep Him Interested. It's a new course that she has put together, and it's helping ladies all across the world. You can go to howtotextaguy.weebly.com for more information. Amy says she has the answer, so find out there at howtotextaguy.weebly.com.
Recover